Hi, I'm Dennis Anstein, the editor of the Bainbridge Review. As part of the Review Advisory Board's meetings this week with the 6 City Council members, they were asked to, for no more than 5 minutes, to address specific issues or their campaigns in general.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Hytopoulos. I'm running for City Council for Bainbridge Island, position 3 in the southward. And I'm here today to respond to a query by our editor about a project that would have a positive effect on the community during this time of crisis. When the review asked me to ask the candidates to propose an idea or project that would have a positive effect on the community during this time of turmoil, I was determined to take advantage of the opportunity to discuss ways to bring our divided leadership together, or to help the community feel optimistic about its city government. But calling for a community meeting or function seemed inadequate, and proposing that the city spend money on a project during the current financial crisis seemed irresponsible. While our amazing community groups excel at creating positive community building experiences, and there are many exciting projects our city might eventually pursue, at this time, our city government is not in a position to do much more than find a way out of the current financial crisis. No longer are we a community with a wish list of projects we expect to have funded. Rather, we are a community merely hoping our city will be able to fund the projects that must be done. Fixing our roads and sewer pipes, finishing the wastewater treatment plant, and ensuring public well-being are our first priorities. Unfortunately, there's no shortcut to the solutions that must be found to make our city financially secure and restore the community's faith in our city government. There will be hard work and difficult decisions to make before the city can, in better times, contemplate funding our many important community projects. Fortunately, the community understands this. Based on my conversations with folks around the island, what the community wants most from its city now is a professional government that budgets wisely and carries out the city's business in a fair, consistent, and respectful manner. The community also wants a government committed to our shared values and goals, one that embraces the spirit of our comprehensive plan in every decision by actively promoting and protecting our community, serving as steward of our island's finite resources, and preserving our unique way of life. The vote for council manager was an essential first step in trying to secure these goals, but that step alone cannot complete the transformation of our government to one that instills confidence in the community. The most valuable gift that our city could offer during the current crisis is to give the community confidence and hope by demonstrating a commitment to responsive professional government. The city should empower the community with knowledge by creating an open line of communication with the public. Even many of those who voted for council manager government aren't sure how roles, responsibilities, and relationships have changed. There's no money for a new website or glossy mailer, and no need for either one. How about a monthly column in the Review by City Manager Mark Dombrowski and Mayor Chris Snow explaining their new roles and the change of government? What changes are in the works? What's the financial forecast? What can we expect and when? Next, the city must create opportunities for community involvement. As decision-making processes are revised, the city must bring the public into the process in effective ways so that the community buy-in is achieved early in the process, and so the city can benefit from the broad knowledge and experience of the community. It will take creativity and cooperation to keep our vision for a rural island city viable during times of intense economic and development pressures. This is a community that has a long history of being very intentional about its destiny and getting things done. The very act of creating an all-island city was an attempt to guide the island's destiny and to ensure it reflected the community's values and goals. And time and again we have pulled together to accomplish community goals such as preserving open space, rallying around neighbors in need, and saving teachers' jobs one donation at a time. If there's a way to do something, this community will find it. So perhaps the most positive thing that this city can do for the community and the community can do for the city during this time of crisis is to welcome the public into the process and let it help once again to shape the city's destiny. Thank you.
Hello,
I'm Tim Jacobson. I'm running for Bainbridge Island City Council, Position 3, southward. Our city, like many, is facing some challenging times. Often, the reaction is to retreat, to bunker down. Maybe the reaction is to even start giving away your responsibilities to others. In contrast, I would like to propose to the community an idea that looks forward to the long term. I would like the community to consider a positive and far-reaching idea that has the potential to support many of this community's goals. Goals such as lowering costs for our residents and businesses. Goals such as giving us greater control over our carbon footprint, conserving energy, responding to climate change. Goals such as providing family wage jobs, recycling millions of dollars in our community. Goals such as giving us long-term strategy for the cleaner, reliable, less costly power. How do we accomplish this? By using public power managed by our own island-wide utility. Many have, our size and smaller. Washington State has a long-time public power heritage. Goes back to when Grand Coulee Dam was built in the 1930s. As a result, federal law gives a public utility, a preferential right to buy Bonneville Power Administration power. BPA would deliver that power to us. BPA generates its power with close to zero carbon emissions, primarily from hydroelectric dams. In contrast, PSE has a heavy dependence on coal-fired and fossil fuel plants. BPA has set aside a limited amount of low-cost Tier 1 power for new public utilities. It's on a first-come, first-served basis, so we do need to consider this. After 3 years, we would qualify for those lower rates. An interesting fact is that all Washington public power systems, with the exception of one, has less costly power than PSE, and this difference is expected to grow. Now that PSE is owned by foreign investors, our electrical profits not only leave our community, they leave our country. In contrast, if we were to have a local utility, those revenues would allow us to invest in alternative energy such as solar power, to invest in the improving of the reliability of our system by burying more lines. It would allow us to invest in conservation education and other conservation programs that may limit the need for additional electrical infrastructure. Is it feasible? That's an obvious question. It is. Port Angeles has done it. Blaine has done it. Jefferson County is in the process of doing it. We can do it as a PUD, county-wide PUD, or city-owned. Which way should we go? We would have benefits under both. PUD would give us strength in numbers. City-owned would give us more control over how we use the funds. Is the city capable? We have had issues running our utilities on this island. But I believe we can get the expertise if we don't run from our problems, if we face our problems. We'd need a council that has the skills and ability to lead us through the feasibility studies and the decision-making process. It is a large step. We need to take the first step. We need to learn more, the advantages and disadvantages. There are others out there to help us. They have been through it. We're going to have an information panel on October 11th from 4 to 6 at the Wing Point Club. Bill Wise from Port Townsend, who led Jefferson County through their decision to do it via PUD, will be there to help us start the process. I believe a community becomes stronger when it works towards a common goal, when it is progressing, not retreating. Thank you.